This is the new economy. We're just coming out of the longest bull run in history, 11 years, starting in 2011. In 2011, I made the biggest fortunes of my life because of the MBS, mortgage-backed securities, and CDO, collateralized debt obligation crashes. The real estate market crashed, and I backed up the truck with about $300 million to buy the best real estate all across the Southwest. This has been the largest, longest bull market in history. I look at some of these young kids and, I own some Bitcoin and some Ethereum, but they're all saying the same thing. This time it's different. Bitcoin's crash, and the Federal Reserve Bank. I can't believe that. People say, don't fight the Fed and all this. Well, my question to everybody is this. Can the Fed print oil? Can it print gas? Gasoline? Can it print food? But everybody sits there and they've been brainwashed by Wall Street to do as the Fed tells them to do. You've got to be kidding me. Those guys are the three stooges, Janet Yellen, Biden, and Powell. Why would you listen to them? Volcker crushed inflation when the debt-to-GDP ratio was 30%. Today, it's 125% if you believe the numbers. Powell is now channeling the spirit of Volcker. History will tell you this. There's never been a soft landing. It's more Fed talk. I've made more money in the last 3 years than in my whole life. And so that's what I'm going to talk about with you today. There are other ways of looking at investing, but to think that Powell is going to save you. As you may know, the reverse repo market is running at $2 trillion a day today. People are listening to Powell. You've got to be kidding me. I own no stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or ETFs. I do not touch paper. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I think people have been brainwashed by the Fed, the Treasury, and whatever those guys are. Go to school, get a job, pay your taxes, get a high-paying job, and invest in the long term. A well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. In 1974, when I came back from Vietnam as a two-tour Marine helicopter pilot, I saw communism at work. It was not pretty. I came back, and in 1974, they passed ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, which stands for 401(k) or IRA. I went, oh my God, they're funneling my generation, the boomers, into the stock market, and they don't know anything about money. In 1974, the biggest exodus was school teachers suddenly becoming financial planners. I watched that, and interestingly, I watched it in horror. That's the poor leading the blind. Today, we have baby boomers who are hoping the stock market stays up in their 401(k) just as Social Security goes bust. You think that's an accident? That's all I'm saying. I'm just a Marine, a dumbass Marine lieutenant who flew the gunship and went down 3 times. But today, I listen to this, and I go, oh my God, how can we be that stupid? Because I went to school, did as we were told, don't fight the Fed, do as the Fed tells you, invest in a long-term, well-diversified portfolio of stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs, and don't worry. Powell is now channeling Volcker when the debt-to-GDP ratio is 125%. You've got to be kidding me. When they were dropping the interest rates, I thought I went to heaven because I'd buy apartment houses. I own 13,000 apartment units. Every time the Fed dropped the interest rates, it jacked the value of my properties up. But I also improved the properties and refinanced out, so today I owe no money on any of my properties. 13,000 units, all throwing cash. In a bull market, even idiots feel smart. I'm listening to all these idiots. After 2011, the market crashed all the way because the repo market went bad. The repo market is the credit. The credit of Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns was bad, and they got hammered. My friends are all inside that world. But then, when it came back out, they just started pumping money. Just like you said about Christine Lagarde. They started lying and kept printing more money to save a bad economy. It was already crashing again in 2011, but they kept printing money. And today we're going to pay that price. I use debt because debt is tax-free money. So what I did was rehab my 13,000 apartments. I just kept buying more with the cash flow and refinancing out as the interest rates dropped. So I'm in good shape now. I locked in all interest rates. I use debt, and some guys say to live debt-free. Well, that's their opinion. I don't do that. I don't flip houses. Remember all those guys flipping? Everybody thought it was great. Oh, that was stupid. The moment you flip, you have a tax consequence. I never flip. I finance out this tax-free money. When I started investing, I had to invest at 12% interest rates. I like debt, and I don't pay taxes because every time I borrow more money to float MAY properties, there are 3 types of tax breaks I get: appreciation, depreciation, and amortization. So, I zero out. My cost of money and my tax on debt is 0. I use that to offset the tax on my income through appreciation, depreciation, and amortization. When Biden took the Keystone XL pipeline off, my oil, which I was selling from the ground, also a tax break, went from $30 a barrel to $130 a barrel. Today, it's like $120. But oh my God, this guy in Biden's administration is going bankrupt. I'm not saying it's Biden, but there's somebody who wants to bankrupt us because oil is the lifeblood of civilization. I worked for Standard Oil of California as a tanker officer when I graduated from school. I understand oil. I was on the Alaska pipeline and all this. I'm like, he's screwing us. So when he raises inflation, the poor and middle class will go broke. And that was already happening before he took office. I'm looking at this thinking, this guy's going to sell America down the drain. I'm not saying it's him, but somebody wants us to go broke. I'm watching this and going, oh my God. So what else can I do? I have oil wells, and I get tax breaks for those because I don't invest in oil stocks. I work for Standard Oil, but I don't invest in Standard Oil. I invest in the oil in the ground. I'm a wildcatter. Everybody says, don't do it. I don't recommend it, but I like doing it. My gold mines don't do it, but I like doing it. There's more opportunity today than ever before, but not if you've been brainwashed into going to school, getting a job, paying taxes, living debt-free, and investing in the stock market. This bubble right now is a bigger bubble than 2008. This is the everything bubble. It's not only stocks and bonds, but also credit. There's more opportunity coming out of it. That's what I'm saying. Be careful who you listen to, because your best asset, but also your biggest liability, are the ideas in your head. Be careful who puts them there.